He cold. She belongs to the streets.
I Never Liked You is the ninth studio album from Future, and despite the record's title and branding, it's not as misogynistic as you'd think. Now, don't be fooled, Future still talks about defiling women, but for his own standards, this is not the most vile of his projects. The majority of the album still goes the exact same way you'd predict, where we see Future just flaunt his ego and lifestyle for his own amusement, but the record does have some showings of emotion and vulnerability which are not on the level of projects like Monster and Save Me, but are still pretty interesting to see considering Future's string of studio albums leading up to this, aside from 2017's Hendrix, have been as toxic as you get. The album kicks off with a bang with the songs 7:12 p.m. and I'm Dat. One thing I will say about these tracks is that the beats are a little more aggressive and up-tempo than the soundscapes on recent efforts from Future like Wizard and High Off Life, which definitely adds a nice refreshing breeze to the LP. Given from whatever happened to Kanye West's half completed $200 album Donda 2, Keep It Burning is a cut that was originally from that project but was given to Future. It's slightly altered from the version Kanye premiered in February at that disastrous listening party, but Ye continues his great feature run which he started last week on Pusha T's It's Almost Dry, and Future complements the hectically dramatic instrumental with his charming vocals and banterous bars. While out of the three songs with Future on Donda 2, this was my least favorite, I think Keep It Burnin' finds a home on this record. While the first three songs mainly focus on themes of self-inflation, the fourth track, For a Nut, is where we see the first real misogynistic Future moment. The heavy bass makes this track more chaotic than ever, and Future's bridges, which says, I can boss your girl up for a nut, just opens the playground up for Future, Young Thug, and Gunna to create their best collaboration of the year so far. Yes, I'm saying that this track is better than Pushin' P because that song was literally just fried brain cells moving on top of a trap beat. Clocking in at 16 songs, I Never Liked You is definitely way too long, which seems to be a problem that has plagued all of Future's post 2017 projects. With an album that runs for 50 minutes, you get moments like Puffin' on Zooties, Gold Stakes, and We Just Wanna Get High, which continue to do the same thing previous tracks do, and they're not necessarily bad, but just tiring. Sometimes less is more, and if Future understood this, the album would be a lot easier to get through. Fortunately, Wait For You with Drake and Thames gives us a change of pace, but it's not really that good. While Future and Drake never miss, they kinda do here with an anthem that is nice to the ears but just gets a little too comfy and maybe will put you to sleep if you're listening to it at the wrong hour. Future's vocals are soothing, but they're just a little too tamed, and Drake and Thames, they just perform alright. Definitely expected more from a track with this type of star power. Love You Better further pushes this tone change, but does it in the way we deserve. This is really where I Never Liked You shines, as we see Future push out his artistic range in a great way. Vocally, he sounds so smooth, singing on the hook. Hendrix is so comfortable, and it really makes for one of the best vocal performances he's ever had singing. The track's beat is atmospheric and manages to capture that perfect backdrop to Future's vocals without being as tone deaf as the previous track. I love when Future is able to layer his vocals so well, and especially in a song where he is questioning somebody losing feelings for him. It's a rare moment of vulnerability on this album and in his entire discography, and it makes for such a special occurrence. The change in subject matter is really worthy for the change in style we see. Massaging Me bounces things back topically to Future's typical playing ground, but this track is great. It's short and to the point, but Future's vocals are stunning, and his careless bars amount to something great, where the hook of the song says massaging me, and it's said so many times over that it starts to sound like Future is saying misogyny, which is just so clever, and it's Future at his best. When it comes to some of the collaborations on this album, they were not really needed. Chickens is just the most basic song that I can't really say anything about it. It's literally a copy and paste of the most generic Future track, just with an East G feature, which is like spraying Febreze on shit. It's not even like the song is bad, it's just lack of memorability puts it in a place where I'm wondering why I even care that it's here. Speaking of East G, he sounds like frickin' Andre 3000 compared to Voodoo, which contains a horrid feature from Kodak Black. The more I hear post 2018 Kodak, I wonder why he is famous, and his rancid, his abysmal vocals on this track are just the epitome of that. Future actually spazzes out on this song too, with intense vocal inflections, and it's quite a shame because aside from Kodak, who just butchers this track, he's on the beginning, he's on the bridge, the song is really good. Closing out the record, the final run of tracks is absolutely phenomenal. Holy Ghost features a muddy beat that adds a lot of emotional validity to Future's performance. The track is always intensifying, and both the thrilling production's progression and Future's masterclass on how to vocalize as a trap artist show this. While Future is literally just talking about his wealth, it sounds so epic, which is really just something to say in Future, no matter whether he's talking about something basic or his addictions or his problems in relationships. He can make something sound so good just based on how he wants to use his voice and how he layers his production. Building on this powerful note, the way things going ups the ante with a cut that's more emotional with its melodramatic trap beat and melodic inflections. Future talks about his come up on this track and contrasts it with his life now, which, despite being like the most overdrawn topic in hip hop, feels really refreshing. I'm on One redeems Future and Drake's letdown of Wait For You with a banger that is more to their speed. From the eerie trap beat to the commanding vocals of Future, which feel demonic at times, this is the moment we've been waiting for on this entire record. Future sounds truly inspired, and the production just commands the atmosphere. Topping this off, Drake's feature just adds that sense of thrill in his presence brings as he gets in his braggadocious bag. In terms of misogyny, in terms of just sheer egotistical havoc, Drake actually gives Future a run for his money with his verse. This is the type of track that really just makes me wonder why we still have not gotten What a Time to Be Alive 2. Serving as the closer to the entire album, I'd go as far to say that Back to the Basics is one of Future's best outros across his entire catalog. The strings on the instrumental are so strong through their faintness, and the background vocals add all the more dramatics to what Future's doing. Future gets vulnerable in this cut, which all leads to the final line, "After I have sex with you, let me cry on your shoulder." I can't describe why, but Future's saying this over and over again as the verse concludes, and we get this really well layered, emotionally hard hitting outro. It's just so perfect. The only thing this outro makes you wish for is that there was a little more build up to such a fantastic moment. To recap what we just talked about, I'm going to be ranking the track list, and I'm going to do this quick because there's not a lot of description to put in at least half of the songs. At 16, we got Voodoo. At 15, we got We Just Want to Get High. At 14, we got Chickens. At 13, we got Wait For You. At 12, we got Gold Stacks. At 11, we got Puffin' on Zooties. At 10, we got Foreign Nut. At 9, we got I'm Dat. At 8, we got 7:12 p.m. At 7, we got Massaging Me. At 6, we got Love You Better. At 5, we got I'm on One. 4, we got Keep It Burning. 3, we got Holy Ghost. 2, we got The Way Things Going. And 1, we got Back to the Basics. This graphic shows everything wrong with I Never Liked You, as tracks 10 through 16 are really just pointless filler. From there, the album does have good moments, with tracks even being great, such as Back to the Basics, but nearly every other Future record has this level of highs without the cost of the lows. If you're a Future fan, you'll have fun with this album, and really anyone can enjoy this on a first listen basis, but through and through, there's really not much that would make me choose to listen to this project over any other one of Future's albums. It's not that everything is so similar, because Future's proved that that formula works when executed upon with enough energy and passion, but a lot of the songs on I Never Liked You feel like they're meeting a status quo as opposed to adding to the bar that Future's achieved so much greatness under. This album is not bad, especially for trap standards in 2022, but I did expect more from Future, especially after the year-long wait, which is the longest we have ever waited for a project from him in his entire career. Overall, a lot of this album is very forgettable, and with all of this plain material mixed in with decently high highs, we just have an average Future record. For these reasons, I'll be giving I Never Liked You a 5.4 out of 10. Tell me how you like this album. Do you agree with my review? What was your favorite song? Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you can see when I post next. And thank you so much for watching. Mr. Fantastic, Fantastic Hip Hop, signing out. Have a great day.